For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Following a major denial from the United States, a response from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And also on the broadcast, we'll be paying tribute to St. Lucian journalist Lisa Joseph, who passed away on the 6th of last month. And the funeral service took place earlier today, and now she is being laid to rest. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. NewsSpin is on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel and Power 97.9 FM. During the course of the program, I'll be entertaining your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Shanti is here. She is already going through some of your comments in the chat rooms, and she will be sharing them with us. I'll be taking your calls, no doubt. And of course, we'll be having a very interactive program. As we ask you again to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. It appears to be unprecedented how this thing is being played out publicly between St. Lucia and the United States. What I'm talking about? First, just a reminder, the Prime Minister of this country last week at a major conference announced and revealed that the U.S. has basically commanded St. Lucia to cease accepting scholarships from Cuba for our St. Lucian students to study medicine in that country. And no doubt, this would have come as a surprise to many people on the island. And we did not have any reason at that time to be confused or to doubt whether the Prime Minister was speaking the truth on this. Whether to question the information that was being conveyed to us. Because after all, you're talking about serious business. You're talking about long-term implications for St. Lucia in terms of St. Lucians accessing quality medical care. Because we know that we are suffering from a lack of specialist medical professionals on the island. We have a few St. Lucians who are well trained and who specialize in certain areas as far as the provision of healthcare is concerned. But we need a whole lot more. And fortunately for us, we have been able to turn to Cuba from time to time. COVID-19 period would have been one such instance. And also in the absence of a pandemic, you have the Cuban eye care program. You have a number of areas whereby the Cuban medical doctors would come to St. Lucia and provide their services. And many of you can attest to them being very thorough. Those doctors, very exceptional in how they carry out their duties. There's the love, there's the attention, the care, they show you the compassion comes across. And also, a significant number of our St. Lucian doctors were trained in Cuba. Just yesterday, one such doctor, Dr. Sylvia Wilson, called the broadcast. We have a Dr. Luisi, we have a Dr. Plummer. Those doctors were trained in Cuba. And you're talking about St. Lucians who are from poor background, don't have the resources to study medicine at other universities around the world. So you welcome the opportunity to study in Cuba. Never mind that it comes at great sacrifice. To the extent, I just came across a story whereby some medical doctors, some students, out of Trinidad and Tobago, currently studying in Cuba, and the authorities over in Trinbago, realizing that the conditions under which they are studying in Cuba considered intolerable, unacceptable, requested and suggested that those students from Trinidad and Tobago should return home. But those students did not accept that offer. They were prepared to make the sacrifice, to remain in Cuba, to study. Some of them had been there for about 2 years or recently commenced their studies there. Yet still, they were hoping to bide their time, go through the bad experience, and get the qualifications and return to their homeland to provide the services in which they were trained. So the Cuban scholarships have gone a long way in improving the lives of a number of Caribbean students. And in St. Lucia, I think the number is about 600 or over 600 St. Lucians who have benefited from Cuban scholarships. And so when the Prime Minister of St. Lucia made that shocking revelation, it sent tongues wagging. Not necessarily nationally, but a lot of people I encountered were speaking about this, about the long-term implications, and the Prime Minister of St. Lucia also made reference to turning to other countries to obtain those scholarships for our students to study there. He mentioned Nigeria. All know what has been happening in Tinubu land over the last few months in particular. where hundreds of people are being slaughtered. And I cannot imagine that any of our St. Lucian students or even their parents would want their children to accept scholarships from Nigeria based on what is happening in that African country as we speak. Google it. I am not manufacturing anything. What I'm saying, there's not disinformation and misinformation. That's not what it is. It's a fact. I doubt if scholarships are advertised right now by the government of St. Lucia for our students to study in Nigeria, that they'll get one application. I don't think there'll be one applicant. One person would want to go and study over in Nigeria. And I put Shanti on the spot there. Shanti, you would want to get a scholarship to study in Nigeria? Would you accept it?
At the risk of getting it and probably not returning home, no.
You would not?
I would pass up the opportunity.
Okay.
I would.
So, currently conducting a poll. Just one individual saying that she would not accept a scholarship, considering the situation over in Nigeria. When we open the lines, you yourself can comment. And so people do not see Nigeria as an alternative to Cuban scholarships. And I remember saying, it was on Monday of last week, or Monday of this week, I think it was Monday of this week, that I could not understand why that such a sensitive issue was being raised at a conference by the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. I felt that it warranted either a press conference or a statement to the St. Lucian public, because it appears that he dealt with this en passant. His address was over half an hour, but he only spoke about this critical issue for about 5 minutes. Something that has long-term implications for St. Lucia. You know, time and place. And so, we got this information from the U.S. Embassy via its Facebook page. This denial. The United States has not recently talked to St. Lucia about international education and respects countries' sovereign decisions regarding the education of their citizens. Again, the United States has not recently talked to St. Lucia about international education and respects countries' sovereign decisions regarding the education of their citizens. So the embassy is basically saying that our Prime Minister was being economical with the truth. What he said to you, the people of St. Lucia, was not true. And remember, this reverberated throughout the Caribbean. This announcement, this revelation by the Prime Minister that Washington had basically demanded St. Lucia to cease accepting scholarships from Cuba for the island students to study medicine, appeared in various media outlets. And this is talking about social media. All over the place. So now that this denial is coming from the U.S. Embassy, where does that put you as a St. Lucian? And if you dispassionate, non-partisan, you're not SLP, you're not UWP, you are St. Lucian. How do you read this? This confusion, and this is unprecedented. In my experience, at least, it has never ever happened where you have a prime minister making one statement, attributing it to a country, and that country through an embassy says, we never made that statement. In other words, demarting you. And I'm not calling anyone a liar before some toothless tiger advises the prime minister to take me to court. That's what I'm saying. I am dealing with the facts, and those are the facts. We find ourselves as citizens in a conundrum, in a dilemma. Who to believe? The Prime Minister of St. Lucia or the U.S.? And I'm reading some comments. People are jumping to the defense of the Prime Minister, saying the Prime Minister will not lie, and the Prime Minister speak the truth, and we stand with our Prime Minister, etc. It's not about taking sides. And it's not about being unpatriotic. It's not a case of siding with the United States against St. Lucia. The next thing people will be suggesting that I should pay a heavy price. What is expected when you commit treason? The man is, as who say, supporting the U.S., a white man, and Trump. But why would, let's put Trump versus Philip J. Pierre. Why would Trump lie? Does he have anything to lose? Is he afraid of Philip J. Pierre that he would say something to St. Lucia, and then when the Prime Minister repeats it, he would say, that's not true, I never said that. And there comes a time when, as much as we tend to be parochial, our mindset is that of somebody who is just preoccupied with things that are happening in Dennery and Lac-Coudou and Anse-Lauré and Canaries and Gros-Islet and so on, that you try to be as broad as possible in terms of your thinking. Because this is huge. This is significant. This is not SLP, UWP, Flambeau, A12 stuff, you know. That's big. So let us not indulge in things that we should be reserving for a watering hole, you know, in some way, in Kaimanji or some other community. This is big stuff, real stuff. And what does that say about us in terms of we're dealing with geopolitical issues? What is equally shocking is the response from the Prime Minister. And I'll turn my attention to this in just a moment. But first, this exchange between Castries and Washington has made the news. It has gone regional. And let me turn my attention to a piece read by an anchor for Carib Update News. This came out of Grenada yesterday.
The U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown is denying that the United States had spoken to St. Lucia about not accepting scholarships from Cuba. In a statement issued Wednesday, the embassy declared that, and we quote, the United States has not recently talked to St. Lucia about international education and respects countries' sovereign decisions regarding the education of their citizens, end quote. The statement said Washington, however, continues to call for an end to what it calls exploitation and forced labor in the illegitimate Cuban regime's overseas medical missions program. St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre had alluded to U.S. pressure on St. Lucia and other Caribbean states to not only not engage Cuban doctors, but also staying away from accepting Havana scholarships. But in a Facebook response to the embassy statement on Wednesday, Pierre said, and we quote, I have no comment, but I understand the United States' position. End quote.
All right, you just heard there from Carib Update out of Grenada. The Caribbean Media Corporation, CMC, has also picked up the story. U.S. denial regarding the Cuba scholarships. The Trinidad Guardian also says, big headline, Trinidad and Tobago denies U.S. pressure to end medical study program with Cuba. Trinidad and Tobago denies U.S. pressure to end medical study program with Cuba. Headlines all over the Caribbean. The Trinidad Express, the Trinidad Guardian, the Jamaica Gleaner, the Jamaica Observer. The Prime Minister's response. Simple. I have no comment, but I understand the United States position. I have no comment, but I understand the United States position. And let me take you back to when the Prime Minister made that initial statement. After making that initial statement, after regretting what you perceive to be a demand that was made by the United States returns and says, I never, ever made that demand of you. I'm denying this categorically. All you can say is, I have no comment, but I understand the United States position. What about the people of St. Lucia? The people that you first shocked with that bit of information, you are saying to them as well, no comment. You are saying to them as well what you said to the United States, I understand the United States position, and you believe that this is acceptable. So let's take you to when that statement was made, the initial statement was made by the Prime Minister of St. Lucia.
Many of our doctors got trained in Cuba, and now the great United States have said, we can't do that any longer. So this is a major problem that I have to face. Some of my colleagues have already taken a position and abandoned. So most of our health, most of our doctors, most of them, all right? 1, 2, Cuba 2? 1, 2, 3. 3 of our best doctors are trained in Cuba. Right? Now, they also have Cubans who come over to work. Right? So the American government has said that we can't even train them in Cuba. So I have a major issue, man. So, for reasons not known to them or not known to me.
You just heard there from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Let me hear from you right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, the embassy has already started denying immigrant and also non-immigrant visas. The Prime Minister needs to be careful regarding misinformation. People say we don't need to go to the U.S., but we do have families who are citizens and we may want to visit. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Hello?
Bon après-midi, Tim.
Oui, bon après-midi, madame.
Tim, ou pas trouver ça bien drôle. Ou pas qu'attendre rien, et puis ces bus drivers là, ou pas qu'à voyer les chimins. Yo ka parler tout seul, mais ou pas jamais voyer les chimins. C'était en bas parti en flambeau, yo tout déjà prend bon chemin. Yo déjà allé côté opposition leader, yo déjà devant Kaile campagne. Et moi-même trouvé ça tellement drôle. Mais Tim, eh ben, si batos kakoulos, ça fait chousos. Bon après-midi.
Ah, bon après-midi. Première fois, moi t'en ça. Et qu'imagine, madame ça a coué l'autre pays, so Monday tout l'année week. Mais pas oublier coué les pièces. And that is the clip of the day. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. I wish I could have remembered this one to repeat it, but I can't. All I remember is Batos and Chuos. All right, let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, nothing about thinking of Nigerian scholarships. St. Lucians better wake up because the Prime Minister has already sold St. Lucia to Tinubu, so if they go to Nigeria, they might not come back. Lucians, open your eyes and start speaking against the wrong things in St. Lucia. Another call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Please go ahead with your contribution, caller. Hello? Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
It's really disappointing that we have a Prime Minister that we cannot trust. This lacks the integrity that we expect from our leaders, right? And the reality is that this is a blatant lie. Philip Pierre would have said that the U.S. demanded that we stop the scholarships and return the medical professionals who are a key factor in our health care. So he admitted he was told so, and now he denies it. How can you trust anything that comes out of the mouth of Philip J. Pierre? And it is totally disappointing because leadership is about integrity, it's about values, and it's about morals. We cannot trust a government that does not speak the truth. And I mean, we have to be honest with ourselves. No matter what party you support in St. Lucia, it is about a St. Lucia of unity, St. Lucia where we have a government that cares about all the people. And healthcare and education are two critical pillars for the development of St. Lucia. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you cannot fool us. Not everybody lacks logical, critical thinking skills. Be honest with the people. Thank you, team.
Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Good day, Tim, but who is telling the truth? Trump or PJP? And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. What could have prompted the Prime Minister of St. Lucia to make such a statement? It's likely that he knew the truth would eventually surface if his claim was false. Perhaps he had a clandestine agreement with the Nigerian president to relocate the student from Cuba to Nigeria. If not, his remarks seem unfounded and lacking in logic. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Okay, another one says there, I don't believe the Prime Minister is being truthful. While the U.S. may have raised concerns about studying medicine in Cuba, it feels convenient to place all the blame there. This shift appears more like a political move to strengthen ties with African president, and he used the U.S. as an easy scapegoat. The real issue is whether countries like those he mentioned, Africa, Mexico, or Ghana, are prepared to accept CARICOM students into top-tier, well-equipped teaching hospitals. Will our students receive training with modern technology? And are these medical programs properly accredited and internationally recognized? These countries also have their own citizens to prioritize. If this change was being considered, the Prime Minister owed the nation clear answers up front. The public deserved the full facts of accreditation, capacity, quality of training, not a sudden announcement with a post about he has nothing more to say, no follow-up or transparency. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another person says that, Tim, I love what the Grenadian Prime Minister is doing. He asked Trump's questions in the interest of the people. Finance, security, housing. He doesn't just say yes to Trump. Necessary provisions have to be made. Another WhatsApp message. Hello. I've lived in the U.S. for 40 years. I returned to St. Lucia to see how America is controlling our Prime Minister. I thought we were independent. I guess not. Soon our pitons will be called Trump pitons. And let's see if we have some more of your messages. Once again, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon to you, Jante. Let's find out what is happening in the chat rooms via an update from you.
Afternoon, Tim. Starting off with YouTube, we have one saying, "May Lisa's gentle soul rest in peace." Another saying, "If the PM wants to end the Cuban scholarships, just do it. But do not lie on someone else to push your own agendas." Somebody else here says, "Send them to Nigeria," laughing out loud. Another said, "I would not accept it either for myself, my child, or any of my relatives. Bola cannot even protect his own people from being kidnapped. It is not us that he will be able to protect." Somebody else said, "Yes, I would go to study in Nigeria right now." Another saying, "So the Prime Minister lied? You heard it." Another says, "PJP, if you make Trump come look for me, I will come looking for you. Don't upset me." Another saying, "The PM can't afford to pay Cuba anymore, so he's using the US." And over here on Facebook, we have comments saying, "Lisa's funeral had me crying so much. We have lost an excellent journalist." Another saying, "Praying Lisa's family and friends find comfort and strength as they have now laid her to rest." We have a comment here saying that PJP wants to kick Cuba and get married to Nigeria. Another saying, "And bring in fake doctors from Nigeria here like we had some time ago." Another here saying, "Tim, he wants to accept African nurses just as the PM of Antigua did. So he decided to lie to the nation." St. Lucia needs to ask themselves question. PJP lies and more lies. Another here saying, "Nigerians are very good at producing fake documents. Nigeria is the land of scammers." Another one here saying, "He said Mexico as well, Tim. Tim, it is because of the 6-1 Philip J. Pierre thinks that he can lie to us." Another here saying, "Peep might need a translator when he goes into those meetings. It seems that there are two different languages being spoken." I believe that Trump is telling the truth, because when Trump has or have done something, he says it and then does it. But Peep is blaming others for what he says and saying he never said it. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much for that update. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Yes, Timothy, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have always sent message or broadcast on radio that this Prime Minister we have there has always been a liar or not speaking the truth. And we have witnessed that in our House of Assembly, Tim. And I don't think the Prime Minister realized when he speaks, whether on radio or in the House, that the whole world is listening. And he continues to be saying lies and lies and lies. All right? And there are people in St. Lucia are afraid to talk because they're scared of being victimized. That's why they accept everything which is wrong this Prime Minister and his ministers say. All right? Now, the other thing I want to say, Mr. Timothy, I may have three things to say if you permit me. I am an ex-police. I'm an ex-inspector of police. Timothy, I noticed our streets and villages are left unattended. No police patrol, nothing, both day and night, Tim. And it was not so before, in my days in the police force, you know. We have an amount of motorcycles that should be on the road or the roads. You only see them, you know, maybe when there's a funeral, a police die or minister die, you'll see about 42 police motorcycles, you know, escorting the funeral or whatever. But you don't see them on our roads, all right? The amount of motorcycles I know police have, most of them on afternoons, they go to their homes. If it's mornings, they come back to work, they park it there. Our roads are not safe, period. They are not safe. Why the department, the police department cannot see to it that the police, you know, patrols our streets, whether mobile, foot patrol, or motorcycle patrol. We are not safe. Both there, even in Vieux-Fort, that's where I live. During the day, you don't see no police in uniform. Nighttime, worse yet. You know, the streets are left for criminals to act and do all sorts of things. All right? Now, the other thing, people that are driving and they have telephone in their hands, they're how you call it, they're texting, and police not doing nothing. The police don't do nothing because they themselves, I have seen them doing it. I have seen a police driving a marked police vehicle and he's texting. All right? When are we going to stop this nonsense happening in this country? Police don't wear seat belts, but they want to charge people other drivers to wear seat belts. All right? Why? You know, in all the countries I've been, America, England, and the police wear their seat belts. Whether it is an emergency, they wear their seat belts. All right? And I'm applying to the commissioner to have police to wear their seat belts and get the police on the road to stop people from using phones when they're driving. Okay? And the last one, police vehicles are being parked on sidewalk. Marked police vehicles are being parked on sidewalk. Yet still they don't want the public with their vehicles to park, who have vehicles to park on the sidewalks. Why are they not setting the examples so that when you charge somebody, you know you have charged the person, which is fair. Don't do the wrong things, and when the public follow what you do, you charge them. Timothy, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. Let's see if we go through some of your comments via WhatsApp. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, there are too many dogs on the streets. Let me try to access it. Okay. There are too many dogs on the streets of Castries. Every step you take, you have to be dodging dog mess. Why isn't anything being done about this? Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, so PJP surprised Lucians again with lies. You and your Prime Minister, turn, as according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says, question for the Prime Minister. How many refugees are we receiving? How much money Trump is giving to you, the people of St. Lucia, and where are you going to place them? Our citizens need help. I don't think this is a good idea to bring refugees in St. Lucia. What the Prime Minister said, what they have done is to sign an MOU. But they have not made a determination as to whether they'll be accepting those third country refugees. He has not reached a point and agreed to any arrangement with the U.S. as to what amount of money will be provided to St. Lucia and to house those people and things of that nature. So he's saying that we are not at that point yet to discuss those issues. Another WhatsApp message, and it says there, hello team, is this statement true? The U.S. flatly denies Pierre claim that American pressure halted medical training in Cuba for St. Lucian students, with the U.S. Embassy Bridgetown stating it has not engaged St. Lucia on international education on decisions regarding where its citizens pursue overseas studies. And, well, it is true. That statement is indeed true. Let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, why can't the rich, the poor, the educated, and the uneducated do like me? For I have a long time stopped believing anything that comes out of Philip J. Pierre's mouth. We must accept the fact that Philip J. Pierre does not speak the truth. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, I'm your listener.
Yes, caller. Can you speak directly into the phone? I cannot hear you too clearly.
Okay. Tim, the construction company that's doing the West Coast Road from Castries to Soufrière, the end of Roseau Road, taking the turn after the bridge, they have removed a sign where you're not supposed to go straight, but it can show you could turn to continue on the road. They removed that sign, Tim, and it's very dangerous at night because a lot of people don't. When at night you see that road going straight. If you go straight in the rock, I would love them to put that sign back. I see they put in guardrails But they should have started there to put a guardrail before people enter right into that rock again. Okay, Tim, that's all I have to say.
Okay.
Tell them to put that sign back so people don't get themselves into accidents.
All right. Thank you so much. One would have hoped that, considering what we have as road users, motorists in particular, what we have experienced over the last few weeks in St. Lucia, that by now no one would see the need to call a NewsSpin and to call on the authorities, those people are involved in road works on the island, to put certain signs there that would indicate that the road is in such a state that it poses some kind of danger to motorists and other road users, so that they could drive cautiously. I mean, you have, I think as we were off the air for the season, the festive season, you had instances where at least 2 vehicles got damaged because they're not aware that the roadworks were being undertaken, I think in the cul-de-sac area, and there wasn't any cordoning off of the road or any signs to indicate that people have to drive cautiously, and therefore those vehicles were damaged. So we are not learning, unfortunately, from our errors. 4522979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And let us see if we have any of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, Philip J. Pierre is an OG, so he knows how politics work. He should practice diplomacy. With all which has happened, Trump actions won't be favorable to us. We will only receive criminals alone as punishment. Let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, our WhatsApp message. Let's see there what you are saying via WhatsApp. Okay. Tim, do you know Lisa Jawaye closing her office door on the people at Bexon? Well, I don't have any such information. I know nothing about this at all. Okay, another WhatsApp message. Somebody says that, Tim, I'm so confused by what the Prime Minister said considering that Cuba issue. And what's more perplexing is that there isn't more outrage. Elections truly have consequences. And the person continues, Nigeria is a very rough place. Another WhatsApp message. The question is, why did he say what he said? This is unacceptable and shows a lack of respect for the people. This is a serious matter and he must clarify his statement. Let's take a call on the line. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Good day, Timothy. How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Very good. Timothy, I'm going to point out something, and sometimes when those things happen, we want to hope that we fix it up. But the way St. Lucia going, and sometimes we don't know what to believe in, we have to be very, very conscious of those things. And I'm speaking about the condition with the post. I believe it's on the Noble Road.
Mm-hmm.
And we know later this year, as per the government, we're supposed to go into that 4-lane highway from Julian Hunt, going to Grosley. So if we have that battle between UCLEC and the contractors, we have a heavy conversation about costing and stuff. What will happen when they start building those new roads, where they have to acquire endless lands and stuff? Are we ready for those kind of development? If we're going to take on this little road, what will happen for the following road? So I'm a bit concerned about that, Timothy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I see that UCLEC has issued a statement on this saying that a bill was forwarded to the contractor and it was queried by the contractor because the contractor wanted a breakdown. The managing director of UCLEC said last evening during the news on DBS television that breakdown which was requested has been provided to not only the contractor but the relevant ministry that is involved in that project. I take it that is the Ministry of Infrastructure. So a determination will be made, I imagine, within the next few days and weeks as to whether the contractor or the government of St. Lucia will be footing that bill. And based on the concern raised by the last caller, maybe going forward, all the concerned parties can learn from that particular experience, because what UCLEC is saying is this is standard practice on the part of that utility company. We make our assessment. We take a lot of things into consideration as per usual, And then what we do is to provide a costing to the contractor, and then this ought to be paid. Because otherwise, what could happen is whatever cost that is accrued as out of those particular projects, those costs have to be passed on to the consumer. And let us see if we have a WhatsApp message, and let's see there what somebody is saying via WhatsApp. The comment is, Tim, shouldn't our ambassador in Washington or the foreign affairs minister be commenting on the prime minister's statement? Do we have those ambassadors? Whether to the UN, whether it's to the US, whether it's to the United States, do we have people representing us over in Miami, in Taiwan, and those countries, those places? Why I'm saying that? Because I had a thought just a couple days ago. In light of all those developments pertaining to the United States putting a pause on the issuance of non-immigrant visas and also other visas, and now what we're hearing, this exchange between the U.S. Embassy and the St. Lucia regarding Cuba, St. Lucian studying medicine in Cuba, you don't hear from those ambassadors. We have a St. Lucian ambassador over in Cuba. Who is that person? I don't know, but we will not hear from them. When it's considered to be appropriate, rest assured we hear from those individuals. When they are wearing the cap as a member of the St. Lucia Labour Party. In the run-up to the last general election, you realized that so many of those ambassadors, what have you, coming to St. Lucia to do what? To campaign on behalf of the SLP. Menisa Rambali was in St. Lucia. Our ambassador in Taiwan was in St. Lucia campaigning, and we heard from him. He appeared on the talk shows. Menisa Rambali appeared on various platforms, particularly in Castri's Southeast. We had our representative who was representing the individual representing us in Miami, was in St. Lucia, on NTN, giving commentary. But when it matters most, you don't hear from them. And if you're monitoring the news, whether it's Trinidad, whether it's Antigua, whether it is Barbados, those people are always in the news in the respective countries. Ron Saunders, a well-known Guyanese broadcaster, he is Antigua's ambassador to the OAS, to the United Nations, to Bagay. And he's forever addressing the people of Antigua when those issues surface. When you have incidents between the Antigua and the US that would, by extension, affect the people of Antigua, he takes to the airwaves. He's on social media. And you Google it. Go on Facebook. Go on YouTube. Ronald Saunders. And you see the number of instances that he has provided information to the people of Antigua regarding matters involving Antigua and the US that have implications for them. When was the last time in her capacity you heard from Ambassador Menisa Rambali? When was the last time? When was the last time? You tell me. Because in such instances, you want to hear from those people, you know. Those St. Lucian diplomats, you want to hear from them, but not a word. The broadcast will continue in just a moment with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. And of course, we'll be hearing from Shante. Updates extracted from the pages of YouTube as well as Facebook. Shop directly from the U.S. with Smack Freight International. Vehicles, heavy equipment, tools, parts, building materials, commercial equipment, office equipment, furniture, personal goods, home goods, shoes, clothing, restaurant equipment and supplies, uniforms, and so much more. Smack Freight International also offers a broad selection of top quality products with real-time availability and fast delivery. It is simple. Whatever you buy it for less at Smack Freight. Smack Freight is now serving the Caribbean. WhatsApp them today at 1737-409-4048. That WhatsApp number again, 1737-409-4048, or visit their website at smackfreight.com. SMAKFREIGHT.com.
The Consulate General of St. Lucia in New York presents Independence 47th Marketplace, featuring St. Lucian vendors and products. Friday, February 13th from 6 p.m. at the St. Lucia House on 438 East, 49th Street, Brooklyn, New York. Come see St. Lucia, come taste St. Lucia, come get a piece of St. Lucia. Admission absolutely free. Independence 47 Marketplace. For more information, contact the Consulate at 212-697-9360.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $47 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
This one will be massive! Legacy 2026, the Independence Edition, Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m., Rodney Bay Pavilion. It's the big war! Legacy presents one of the Caribbean's greatest artists ever, the undisputed Queen of Soca, Destra. Yes, Destra Garcia. Destra. Then our two groovy giants, Teddyson John, doing his vintage set. And King Alpha. Plus the outstanding St. Lucian cast, a mix of legends and rising stars. Ashanti, Educator, Desro, Manchas, Black Eye, Short Pants and more. Legacy 26 will be an epic show. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m., Rodney Bay Pavilion. Limited early birds $120, regular $150. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Way. Sponsored by Republic Bank, Massey Stores, First Citizen, IBS Solutions, Piton Bear, Crystal Clear Water, Flow, and the Independence Committee.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today 451-6559. La Clinique de Corps, because time is vital in health.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
At Caribbean Pastuche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastuche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastuche Limited is located in Bexon, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastuche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
On Sunday, February 15th, experience bliss, eye candy drippings, and sugar-coated hotties. Welcome to Sunburn. The Candy Crush Saga. Sweet like candy, hot like the sun. Sunburnt. Come party with top-class DJs and Power 97.9 FM crew. On Sunday, February 15th from 3 p.m. Union Orchid Garden. Dress code, sugar and spice. Sunburnt is food inclusive. Early bird tickets $100, regular $150. Available at Power FM's office in VG. Sunburnt, the Candy Crush Saga. Live, laugh, brunch. Sunday, February 15th.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
The great.
Very sad. This is what transpired earlier today during the funeral service of Lisa Joseph. Understandably so, her mother crest fallen along with the other mourners. And we'll be playing you the eulogy. The eulogy at that funeral service in tribute of Lisa Joseph once again, a well-known St. Lucian broadcaster who passed away on the 6th of last month. The funeral service was held earlier on today. Let's continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages, and of course you'll be hearing in just a moment from Shante regarding your comments in the chat rooms. An update regarding a well-known case in Martinique. Remember that incident several years ago where a St. Lucia national, along with others from St. Lucia, unfortunately, were involved in the murder of a French ophthalmologist. And this sent shockwaves throughout Martinique. And I remember reporting just a few days ago that matter was before the courts over in that French territory. So the latest is, at the end of the final day of trial, on Tuesday, February the 3rd, 2026, Fabian Cherubin was sentenced to 25 years imprisonment by the Martinique Assize Court. He was found guilty of the kidnapping and murder of Marion Jeanine in September 2008 in southern Martinique. So this individual sent to prison for some 28 years over in Martinique. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, I would like to find out something, Tim. Is it constitutional that anytime a company come to St. Lucia to build or to have any project, is it constitutional that they come with their own workers and the workers alone that have to work on this project?
No. As a matter of fact, you have to first off give priority to St. Lucian workers. And in most instances, if you have a requirement, if you have a job, an assignment that requires people having certain expertise, and it's not available in St. Lucia, and you're not aware of any St. Lucian, being qualified in that particular area, in most cases, especially in the hospitality sector and so on, you must advertise that position. You advertise it, and if after you have advertised it for a certain period, St. Lucians do not apply for the job, then you can bring in foreign nationals.
Jim, I am so happy that you actually say that and you actually clarify that whole thing. Because there is a project going on in the Vieux-Fort area, all right, a hotel, and only Chinese alone that is there. There is no St. Lucian. When I tell you no St. Lucian at all.
Not one, not a single one. Not a single one.
Not a single one.
And how many? And how many of those Chinese? How many nationals are you talking about of China?
Tim, let me tell you, you cannot count. If you see, you go there right now, Tim, you would see the amount of Chinese that are there, and there is no St. Lucian. And I thought that project had stopped. But Tim, all the time they said that project stopped, Tim. That project was still going on with the Chinese workers.
Well, if you have that project in the south of the island, one certainly would understand if allowance was being made for St. Lucians, particularly who are from the south, who are from Vieux-Fort, who are from Labrie, Vieux-Fort North, Vieux-Fort South, etc., because we know that unemployment is very high in major parts of St. Lucia, but in particular in the south, and every opportunity we can get to find employment for St. Lucian citizens, we should be taking advantage of those.
Well, Tim, since I said that, I hope that the authorities in them hear that, and they should do whatsoever that is necessary to find out what I'm saying, if it is the truth or not. Okay? All right?
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you so much. I'm sure that the relevant authorities are very much aware of this, if what you're saying there is the truth. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Let's see there, 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says that, Tim, the workers might have their Lucian passports through the Citizenship by Investment program. Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, I would like to comment on the Prime Minister's statement concerning healthcare or health St. Lucian students studying in Cuba. I'm a health professional working among Nigerians who came to the UK, studied and practiced as nurses. If Nigeria is a bed of roses, the Nigerians would never come to the UK and study. They have nothing nice to say about Tinubu. The Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, is in bed with the Nigerian president. He should never make the false claim about the US. He's making matters worse for Lucians that live, work, and those who want to study in the United States. It seems the visa issues are not damaging enough. He is pouring more salt on the wound. That's according to a WhatsApp message. But he says there, the statement by Lucy, like I gathered, that the government will be paying the costs on behalf of the contractor. IRD, I just need my tax refund, please. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And let's see if we have any more of your messages. All right, any comments in the chat room to go through? Shante, good afternoon to you again.
Afternoon again, Tim. Yes, we do. We have one in reference to your previous call. They write, the people from Vieux-Fort who are underemployed knew all about that and who they voted for. Stop complaining to Tim. Another saying, useless ambassadors using taxpayers' money uselessly. Those St. Lucian ambassadors not doing anything for St. Lucians. Do not even know them. St. Lucia is the worst of all. Another saying, the government is making strides to make St. Lucia better, even with loose cannon Trump bullying everyone around the world. Another saying, based on a rare moment of believing our Prime Minister, I spoke angrily of the U.S. forced ban on Cuban scholarship program. Alas, I was deceived. Lied to again. Another says, does UE offer a nursing program? Another saying, but why did PJP lie? Does he not know that Trump is always on social media and is very petty? The man watches everything. Another saying, Tim, how do you know that that what the PM said about the deportees is true? Another saying, they were racist towards Shas and now quiet as a mouse with the real white man. Moving to YouTube, we have a comment saying, Philip J. Pierre was looking for international exposure and he got it, unfortunately in the most negative and embarrassing way. We need a new PM. Philip J. Pierre is tired. Another saying, you cannot fool people all the time. You are sorry, move on. If you lie on Trump, say sorry fast. Another saying, no water for 10 days in an island surrounded by water. What a joke. This year marks 15 years of living in desert conditions. Never seen a river either, but always had water. Make this make sense. Another saying, sadly, this man lies so much. He has zero credibility. Therefore, it is hard to defend this man honestly. He constantly lies in our faces. A government saying buy more tanks in an island with water is out of ideas, bottom line. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Allow me to try to access this one. It says our Prime Minister has made it clear he is a mystery. Another WhatsApp message. So, Tim, what about Airbnb? Should the hotels make noise too? We need to get with the time. We don't live in a communist state. The government needs to know its place. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there, can we have a vote of no confidence and get this Prime Minister out of office? And do we have any more of your comments? Okay, let's see there. We have a notice or an ad to share with you. The Briefcase is hosting a pop-up in VA4 Town Square. That's on Saturday, 21st of February 2026, offering fast, stress-free help with passport and visa applications. They also assist with passport renewals, police records, U.S. visas, and business registration. No lines, no hassle, just expert support all in one place. You can also visit their main office on High Street, Castries, opposite the ID card office, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Special promotion. Apply for a passport with the Briefcase for a chance to win a trip to Martinique aboard the Express des Îles for Independence. Promotion ends on February the 21st of 2026. Still to come, we'll be replaying to you the eulogy delivered at the funeral service of Lisa Joseph earlier on today. So please stand by for that. Let's see if we have any of your WhatsApp message. Okay, we'll take a quick call via the landline. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
And Happy New Year. That's my first call for the year.
Same to you, sir. Go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah. There was a comment that was made on your program. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday by Ozzy Boy. That's the former chairman of the United Workers' Party.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Tim, one of the reasons why I did try to call, I couldn't get the line. And I had to say something on that because I am living in Mikot South, in particularly. And anything that is happened in that constituency, it is dear to my heart. As the PR of that constituency and a branch member and a delegate. Now, Oswald said, and I heard it on your program, that Alan Chasney should call a by-election in that constituency. In fact, literally, he just quit. Is that what he said?
No,
right?
That's not what he said. He said we could start grooming somebody to contest that seat, and when the time comes, for that person to contest, even if you have a by-election or at the next general election.
Tim, we had, after the election defeat, that embarrassment, we had meeting with our rep, and everything that was supposed to be discussed, we discussed it with our rep,
when the time comes, it is up to the rep whether he want to continue representing, as an MP representing us in that constituency or not. We know who, even if the rep does not want to contest again, we have our plan, our strategy, and our program. We have capable persons. And when we talk about grooming somebody as though let's try to let somebody to learn the politics, we have person team. We does not have to send A, B, B, C, D when the rep said he cannot make it again to take the mantle to representing us as an MP in that constituency. The only thing I can say for the rep right now to call a by-election, if that were to happen, especially so soon, with the momentum that the SLP have, who knows what can happen. So then in time to come, the constituency, which is the ones selecting a candidate, in fact the constituency branch and the delegate, will be the one that will be in a position that will make that decision based with the rep, not person outside of that constituency. Nobody will pressure us and tell us when to do it, where to do it, and it is urgent that we have to do it. We have person that is capable, that can bring representation to the people of Micoud South, particularly the United Workers' Party. So, I am saying that Ozzy should check himself well, because we have a constituency branch, and then we have money, we know everything that is happening, everything that is happening. That is why this constituency stand with Alan Chastney. Even those in other constituency did not want this seat, and Alan Chastney won it because the people of Micoud South does not have a problem and satisfied with the level of representation they got from Alan Chastney. So I'm just letting Ozzy, it's not any problem, that then we have everything under control and we does not need any outside person to tell us what to do in that constituency.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, we have to hear from somebody who delivered the eulogy at the funeral service for Lisa Joseph. Stand by for that. Shop directly from the U.S. with Smack Freight International. Vehicles, heavy equipment, tools, parts, building materials, commercial equipment, office equipment, furniture, personal goods, home goods, shoes, clothing, restaurant equipment and supplies, uniforms, and so much more. Smack Freight International also offers a broad selection of top quality products with real-time availability and fast delivery. It is simple. Whatever you buy it for less at Smack Freight. Smack Freight is now serving the Caribbean. WhatsApp them today at 1737-409-4048. That WhatsApp number again, 1737-409-4048, or visit their website at smackfreight.com. SMAKFREIGHT.com.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, cast in sand and plaster in sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control, all so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
La Clinique du Corps leads the Caribbean in advanced MRI, aligned with globally recognized standards. Avoid overseas stress, delays, and cancelled scans. Reports in 24 to 48 hours. No translation, no overseas processing. Your doctor receives your imaging directly for seamless continuity of care. All major insurance accepted. Call 451-6559. Once again, 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. The WhatsApp number 721-9950.
On Sunday, February 15th, experience bliss, eye candy drippings, and sugar-coated hotties. Welcome to Sunburn. The Candy Crush Saga. Sweet like candy, hot like the sun. Sunburnt. Come party with top-class DJs and Power 97.9 FM crew. On Sunday, February 15th from 3 p.m. Union Orchid Garden. Dress code, sugar and spice. Sunburnt is food inclusive. Early bird tickets $100, regular $150. Available at Power FM's office in VG. Sunburnt, the Candy Crush Saga. Live, laugh, brunch. Sunday, February 15th.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $47 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
Every day, St. Lucian women give everything to their families, communities, and dreams. Yet breast cancer still claims too many lives. Now, St. Lucia is making history. For the first time, state-of-the-art 3D mammography is available right here at home. Donated by the World Bank through the Health Sector Support Program, these advanced machines are a major step forward in universal health coverage, and they're free. Women 40 and older or younger, if at risk, can access this life-saving service. Visit your local wellness center for a referral. Early detection saves lives. Free mammograms, universal coverage. Your wellness center is your first step.
The funeral service for our beloved Lisa Joseph was held earlier on today, this morning at about 10 o'clock, and the eulogy was delivered by Vina Frederick.
In the hushed dawn of 2026, as St. Lucia awakens to a world dimmed by loss, we gather to honor Lisa Vanessa Joseph, A woman whose voice echoed with clarity, courage, compassion until her final breath. At just 50, after valiant, silent battle with cancer, Lisa departed this earthly realm on January 6, leaving behind a legacy that touches us all. She was more than a trailblazing journalist. She was a devoted daughter and sister, a fearless truth seeker and a beloved friend whose warmth and wisdom shaped everyone fortunate enough to know her. Born October 25, 1975, Lisa's journey into journalism began in the late 1990s, fueled by an innate passion for storytelling and community service. Fresh out of the current secondary school, she would begin her illustrious career in media, hosting a youth-oriented program on the nation station Radio St. Lucia. There she honed her skills as a reporter and radio personality, becoming a valued voice in local discourse. Transitioning to television, she graced the screens at DBS Television and Always Calabash TV, scripting segments, anchoring news, and conducting interviews that made complex issues accessible and engaging. Showcasing her versatility across radio and visual media, her work also extended to Choice TV, Radio Caribbean International, and the Government Information Service before she returned home to DBS. Lisa's distinctive voice, calm, confident, and deeply empathetic, delivered the daily televised obituaries on DBS, gently guiding the nation through moments of collective grief as families bid farewell to their loved ones. Her poignant and ironic that the voice which often announced departures from this world has now itself signed off forever, leaving us to mourn in the very medium she served with such grace. This passion for storytelling soon became more than a career. It was a calling Lisa couldn't imagine abandoning. She was utterly dedicated, even showing up at her sickest, suffering in silence to fulfill her purpose and passion. Her caliber shone through in every broadcast, making her a staple in St. Lucian households. As one tribute recalled, watching the news as a child meant associating her face and voice with reliability and poise, an essential part of family life. But her dedication wasn't just about duty, it was about connection. She understood that behind every story was a human being, and she treated each with dignity and care. Lisa lived and breathed the pulse of current affairs until her very last breath. Even in her final moments, her mind remained anchored in the world's unfolding stories, ever curious, ever vigilant. She was a master of her craft, meticulously researched, rigorously prepared, and unflinchingly composed. In the crucible of live interviews and probing talk shows, she navigated every twist and turn with grace and precision. She met sharp questions with thoughtful clarity, parried jabs with calm authority, and never shrunk from the feather-ruffling truths that journalism demands. Her presence on air was not merely competent, it was commanding. A quiet force that commanded respect from even the most guarded voices. Yet what truly defined Lisa was her depth, abiding joy in work itself. She cherished the art of storytelling, the sacred art of conversation, the careful weaving of words as both witness and writer. No distraction could sway her, nor detour could pull her from her vocation. She remained steadfastly devoted to illuminating the world as it is, unvarnished, honest, and human. In an age of noise and haste, Lisa was a beacon of integrity and purpose. Her impact on the public was profound. She informed, educated, and united St. Lucians, fostering discourse on matters from politics to community affairs. Her reporting became part of the nation's fabric, earning her recognition as a beautiful soul who was kind, respectful, sincere, humble, brave, strong, and jovial, yet laser-focused on integrity and values. Tributes from across the spectrum, government officials, diplomats, corporate representatives, and everyday citizens poured in like a collective embrace. "Damn, not my Lisa," one mourner lamented, capturing her raw grief of a public that felt her as family. In the media fraternity, she was a mentor and beacon, her professionalism described as a cut above the rest, inspiring colleagues to uphold ethical standards even in adversity. Yet beyond the accolades and public recognition, Lisa's deepest commitment was to her family. Her relationship with her mother transcended the typical bond. It was a cherished friendship built on mutual understanding and shared wisdom. To her sister Chelsea, Lisa was everything: protector, guide, and closest ally, embodying selfless love in every act. To her partner Mervyn, she was a best friend, supporter, and confidant. Even as she battled cancer in profound silence, refusing to burden others with her pain, she continued to provide for them her quiet strength, a testament to her character. To Wendy, her sister, Tyler, her niece and godchild, and Nahum, her brother, she loved you all dearly. This same commitment extended beyond her family to the broader community. Through her work with the Do Nation Foundation, she advocated for women and youth with the same fierce protectiveness as she showed Chelsea, quietly sustaining those around her with both financial support and emotional guidance. Lisa's bond with her DBS family ran especially deep. She returned to the station she loved, finding not just a workplace, but a second home among colleagues who became cherished friends and confidants. There was a special, enduring connection with DBS owner and manager Linda Dyer, whose guidance and friendship sustained her through challenges. To her fellow anchors, producers, reporters, and the entire team at DBS, she was more than a colleague. She was a mentor whose calm wisdom, infectious humor, and unwavering integrity lifted everyone around her. They shared rides to events, late-night discussions on stories, and quiet moments of support. The DBS family mourns her as one of their own, their grief echoing the nation's, a testament to how profoundly she wove herself into the fabric of her daily lives and the station's soul. Her professional courage matched her personal strength. As a lone investigative journalist tackling St. Lucia's biggest stories, Lisa fearlessly scrutinized discrepancies in public accounts and government policy, potential conflicts of interest, and urged transparency amid regional and international pressures. Her work positioned her as a guardian of accountability, but the personal cost was considerable. Some pushed back fiercely. The threats and the consequences were very real. Yet thankfully, there is still decency and courage in our society, as acts decried as intimidation and misogyny sparked protests and calls for accountability. Even in sickness, Lisa attended press briefings seeking answers with unyielding resolve. Critics questioned her motives, suggesting bias, yet she remained undeterred. Through it all, she stayed true to her principles, responding to the distractors with kindness and grace, never descending into bitterness, but channeling her energy into work that elevated her profession. Over the years, she built rapport with dignitaries and officials through mutual respect and insightful questioning as she covered regional and international events. Her selection to cover the UN Ocean Conference in 2025 as part of the Latin American Caribbean media pool underscored her stature on a global stage. These engagements showcased her ability to bridge divides, earning trust from interviewees across political lines and contributing to balanced public dialogue. This was Lisa Vulesa Joseph, a woman of remarkable courage, not just in her work, but in how she lived. She faced cancer with the same quiet strength she brought to every challenge, never complaining, never seeking pity, always thinking of others first. She was a light in our media landscape and in our lives. For me, Lisa was a treasured friend and a big sister. She supported me with empathy and love when I needed it most. But she also never hesitated to pull me up, tell me the hard truth, and guide me back to my good sense when I strayed. I will miss her dearly. We shared long phone calls, talking about everything under the sun, supporting each other, cheering each other on, and sometimes venting our frustration and annoyances. One of the most remarkable things about Lisa was that no matter how angry she became, whether it was about workplace frustrations or the snide comments made on social media and elsewhere, she always found a way to laugh about it. She understood that those things were part of life, part of the job, and she never let them steal her joy. As we mourn, let us remember not just the journalist, but the woman, the sister who protected fiercely, the daughter who cherished deeply, the friend who spoke hard truths wrapped in love. Let us commit to her ideals, unwavering integrity, empathy in adversity, and selfless devotion to those we hold dear. Lisa leaves behind more than a professional legacy. She leaves us with memories of her laughter, her smile, oh, that warm smile that looked at you with no judgment, just love and goodwill. Her unapologetic honesty and her boundless compassion. These are the marks she made on our hearts, the impressions that will never fade, the moments we will carry forever. We didn't deserve her, as one admirer reflected, but we are forever grateful for the gift of her presence. Rest well, Lisa. You will forever be in our hearts, and your voice, the one that informed the nation and comforted a friend, echoes on. Thank you.
She walked where others turned away, with just a pen and yesterday's rain. In past trees all around the city street, her quiet voice made tyrants sweat. No bulletproof vest, no armored car, just truth she carried like a star. They said, be careful, Lisa dear. She smiled, the stories would I hear, from vagrant crying in the square to vocals trapped on news-time BBS air. Her notebook filled with names unsung, while sirens drown the justice run. Why should Lisa die? Why should Lisa die? With ink still wet and truth held high. Why should silence win the fight, when all she wrote was bringing light? Why should Lisa die? Why should Lisa die? Now her chair sits empty by the press stand, no questions left in trembling hand. The headlines shout, but none dare ask, who lit the match behind the mask? Her final draft, unfinished page, still burns with righteous, quiet rage. Why should Lisa die? Why should Lisa die? With ink still wet and truth held high. Why should silence win the fight, when all she wrote was bringing light? Why should Lisa die? Why should Lisa Said one day they'll have to listen, see. But dawn came cold, no morning call, just pigeons scattered past the wall. Why should Lisa die with ink still wet and truth held high? Why should silence win the fight when all she wrote was bringing light? Why should Lisa die? Why should Lisa die? Why should Lisa die?
Quite a soul, quite a journalist. Existence on this earth certainly was not ordinary. Once again, our condolences to the family, friends of Lisa Joseph, and of course, on behalf of all of us at DBS Television in particular. Somebody says, rest in peace, beautiful soul, another angel to watch over us. Hug my sis for me, please, Lisa. That's one coming from Joan Wells in the chat room. Well, as a broadcast, thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. We'll be back, God willing, tomorrow afternoon, 12:30. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.